So in 1956 was the dawn of AI, really. In 2022, we saw the dawn of AI disruption with the debut of ChatGPT by OpenAI. How many of you are feeling that it could be disruptive to your industry? Plenty more. Well, I'll tell you, it's feeling like it's going to disrupt ours. So marketing with web design, coding, image design, video, there's a lot that's happening. And we're going to look at a few companies that, I'm a history buff, that have gone through an historic massive disruption from the North American carriage business to the automobile. What do you see here? This is the calendar cover illustrated. In the back, you may not be able to see it. Anyone in the front, what do you notice about this? Oh, Basil, you can't see anything. Can you?
Side angle there. I see a horse.
You see a horse, a carriage. What's going on down here? There's an automobile that broke through the guardrail. It's in the water. And there's a guy down here spewing out water, someone coming out, someone broke his leg, talking to the doctor, while this sophisticated couple in a carriage is walking by looking at the catastrophe. This was a calendar made by Robert McLaughlin for the McLaughlin Carriage Company. I got to read you this poem. An automobile of the latest design, its use I will never disparage, but for comfort and pleasure, pray give me for mine a McLaughlin reliable carriage. Robert McLaughlin was an innovator. In 1914, he was making 20,000 carriages a year. The carriage industry was massive. Parts, it was at a distribution network, and carriages had been around for thousands of years. Imagine an automobile. Robert said they're a fad and a trend, and they'll go away because everyone wants a reliable carriage. We call that now the intransigence gene. It's an intellectual and an emotional resistance to change, maybe because of pride or ego, fear, anxiety. We do not want to have the intransigence gene. If you got it, get rid of it. Thankfully, Robert had a son, Sam, who made a deal with William Durant of Buick to put Buick motors into McLaughlin cars. So there we go. These were both made in 1910. They were making carriages at the same time they were making cars. And in 1918, they sold, they sold the company to General Motors Canada. And Sam became the president till 1945 and served as chairman on the board till 1972. That's a pretty good run, would you say? Yeah. Studebaker. How many of you heard of Studebaker cars? They could have still been around. In 1852, the Studebaker brothers had a wagon shop. The reason I want to tell you about the Studebaker brothers, they adapted wisely. They started selling EMF vehicles through their distribution, their carriage distribution network. And these vehicles were by the EMF company. And they got the nickname Every Morning Fix-It because they were not reliable. Studebaker in the 1910s spent $1 million to send out repair people with parts at no expense to those owners throughout the country to save and protect their reputation, their brand name. They knew what business they were in. They were in the personal transportation business. So did McLaughlin. They did a great job, really. It was management, it was some other things that caused them to have their last car rolled off in 1966.